guys, and welcome to chaotic.
Lovely.
Me and Kai. This is called Teatime Gaming.
Teatime.
Oh,
Who made up that devilish name?
yeah, we're basically going to talk about stupid stuff in Gmod. I fell down my stairs. I think I usually do that because they're a really difficult staircase. It's a really difficult staircase to get down because it's like a big castle tower staircase. And I walked in, and I said hello to my father.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said to him, Father, how do you print gifts? And
What?
a look on his face, and he punched me in my chest, and I fell to the ground with a big thump.
Was the thump like?
It was like that was the thump. It was. I obviously did it for a joke. I'm not that retarded, and I do know.
Oh,
cannot
you'd be
print
surprised.
gifts.
You just shot me in the face.
I know I did. Yeah.
This fax machine entertains me. I like it.
Good.
It's not fax machine, is it?
No. And my dad, you know, is quite a big fellow.
He's in charge. He's in charge of all of the computer stuff at school.
He is.
If you broke Google once, he would probably kill you.
He flips shit. His nickname's the Shark because he takes out people who are idiots.
That's what sharks do.
It is. They single.
So they don't go for a food option. They just go for the ones who are stupid.
Yeah, basically. That's how sharks work, Kai. And if you don't know that, I'm gonna have to ditch you and go and leave. Two of the most ridiculous ones, he told me. The first one, he was around 6 or 7, and he had a big oak tree outside his house. They had it cut down, unfortunately, because
Did it fall on the house?
no, but if the branch had broken, it would have gone straight through it, and it was the only landmark that I knew how to get to his house. So they cut it down, and I drove past his house by accident. And he, you know, being an adventurous little child that he was, he walked outside, looked up, and bird shit fell in his eye, and he had to go to the hospital.
Have you ever experienced that?
No, I imagine it to be extremely painful and disgusting.
It seems. Yeah.
Would you love it, Kai?
I really want this cup to have something in it so I can drink it, but it doesn't. I'm still thinking about a story I can use.
It's okay. So I've still got another one.
You got another one, but I still need to have one, otherwise it's going to be boring.
Yeah, another one.
My stories are always better than yours.
It is true.
Oh, I have a story now. So, we were over at my friend Matthew's house, who lives over there. I'm pointing in real life, but it's not real. So, we were at my friend Matthew's house, who lives across the road over there, and we were playing on the trampoline. Now what you're thinking is, yeah, trampoline, you know, things could go wrong, you could fall off, you could do anything.
Kai, as a child, from the pictures I've seen of you, you looked like quite a gormless thing.
I was. Okay, back to the story. We were on his trampoline, and we were playing with a baseball bat. A big wooden baseball bat.
What?
And don't question how cool his dad was. So we had a quad bike, and we were driving around the trampoline, while one of us was, I think it was me jumping on the trampoline, and Matthew had the wooden baseball bat, and my other friend Charlie, who's really small, he also lives across the road, he was on the quad bike going round. So then Charlie thought the idea of jumping in the way, jumping off the trampoline. No, wait. Who was on the trampoline again?
You were.
No, wait. I was on the quad bike, he was on the trampoline. Matthew had the baseball bat, so I was driving around really jolly, you know. Woohoo, I've got a quad bike. And then he tries to jump off the trampoline, and Matthew trying to hit the baseball bat. He hits him so hard, he flies over the fence. So the force of him jumping and the force of the baseball bat hit him in the face. He flew across the fence, and I was just sat there in a quad bike.
That's amazing.
I know it's a very big build-up, and it was a good song.
What?
Yeah, okay, another story from you. Can you top that? Can you top that?
The only time I've ever been flown that far is I was quite a cocky lad when I was younger, you know. Thought I could take on the world. Like, literally, I'd sit there for an hour punching the floor, screaming at it.
Saying, why world? Why would you do this
just
to
saying
me?
you want to take me, bro. And
I suppose.
I'd end up with dirty fists.
I'm eating there's these mints on this table. This desk
tasty.
that I'm sat at, I'm eating mints. But obviously you can't...
I'm too poor to afford food. I'll have to eat.
I've also noticed the lack of movement from your head.
I was looking at a wall. It was quite interesting.
Okay, go on. go on with your story.
Yeah, being the cocky lad that I was, I said to Scott Partridge, my old Bezzy,
Scott, if you're watching, Alan doesn't like you anymore.
and I think there was a girl there. Like, we were at a park. And we were
I can see where this is going.
No,
you were trying to impress this person, and you had something terrible happen to you, and everyone laughed.
I was 6, and she was like 14.
Oh, interesting.
She was,
go on.
Babysitting us, and Scott and her were on the swings.
Right.
And being the amazingly, cocky guy that I was, I said, I bet I can run across without any of you hitting me. So, I crouched down, I sprinted, Scott hit me in my ribs, I flew from one end of the park to the other and slumped onto a wall. And it hurt. My ribs didn't hurt, my left shoulder hurt though, because I seemed to have hit a small rock that was protruding. Protruding out the wall. It was just waiting for someone to fall on it, unsuspectingly.
Was it?
Oh, I don't know if you were on the Skype call with me when I fell off my chair onto a plug.
That was, yeah.
That was an eventful day.
So basically, this rock had spent its entire life. It even said to its dad, "I've chosen my job choice. It's to sit around and waiting for an unexpected island to fall on me."
Yeah.
And when he did, he got his face mangled, obviously, because he got sat on. But he got paid a heap amount of pebbles.
Oh yeah.
And he lived his life.
He was very much man when I was here.
He met the perfect person to live with. He had 7.6 children, because one of them was thrown in a river. And he lived a happy life because you fell on him and made his dreams come true.
Yeah, it's true. But the force of it hurt. Like, I didn't feel anything afterwards, but when he actually hit me, it was quite interesting.
I have another story.
Oh really? Is it another song?
How did you know?
I guessed.
Over the road again, over there, near where Charlie lives, there is an old couple who live over there. There's like 2 fences, which are there's a park, and then there's 2 fences. Yeah. One of them on the other side, and then there's the old couple's garden. Yeah. So we were playing with like this little blue ball. I think it was like a tiny little volleyball.
Oh yeah.
But back in the day we used to call it a volleyball because we didn't know what it was.
That was like the hit term.
Yeah. So we were hitting it around like you always do, like kicking it around, kicking the hedge, and we kicked it over the fence, and it had gone into their garden. Now, meanwhile, these old people were just drinking tea or something, and
the tea's the main drink that old people.
Yes, I don't know what they were drinking. They're drinking some weird brown liquid.
That's disgusting.
Wasn't meant to be. And our ball landed right next to them, and they didn't see it. So our mission was to get that ball back.
Okay.
Now I'd said to Charlie, what we're going to do, because we're 6-year-old selves, you're wondering what we're going to do. We're going to get chased down the road by this old man.
Or
and
are
his
you going to be super duper commando troopers with...
Now that leads on to the next part. Now,
Okay.
Charlie, being like the gymnast he is, he climbs over the fence, but obviously there's I'll describe it, there's like a bit in between the two fences, and there's like loads of weird spiky bushes there. So he went over, and as you would have guessed, he fell in the spiky bush. And I said to him to be quiet, so he was trying to hold in this scream. And, me, concerned by my friend, wanted to help him, but I just couldn't. I needed to get that ball back. So, I climbed over the hedge that he was on. I stepped on his body. I went over the hedge, and I was creeping along the path. I grabbed the ball, went over, and as I was pressing my foot against him, I pushed him even further into the hedge.
You're a mean child.
And then he let out this wailing scream, and then the old man came over and helped him out. And then we were like, all we wanted back was our ball, and all he just said was, well, we are here, we have ears. You can just ask us for it. So I crushed my friend in this hedge. I've got another story, and it sort of relates to when the Ozcast did their Halloween thing. They did the same thing we're doing because we want to do that. My sister and all my sisters and my mum had gone to Tesco. Other shops were available, and obviously my stepdad, he'd gone to work to do moles, and I'm just sat here, and I think because it's getting like during the evening time, and in winter it gets quite dark. So I'm in the shower. I told Alan of this earlier. I'm in the shower, and as I'm taking a shower, I'm singing to myself. I've got my tunes on.
You've got the Mad Rubber Ducky in the head cap.
I've got a Mad Rubber Ducky. I don't have a head cap yet. I might buy one from Asda.
The shower caps.
Yeah, them things. So I'm just sat in the shower, singing to myself, and I thought, right, they're gonna be home soon. And then all of the lights go off, and I'm just stood there. The shower's turned off because we have like an electric shower, and I don't even know what to do. I can't see because it's pitch black. We don't have a bath mat on the floor, and this entire operation is really, really dangerous. So I get out of the bath, or I try and get out of the bath. I sort of lie down and slide myself across the little handle bit, and I get some pieces stuck. Try and retrieve them. So I grab the towel and I go downstairs, and I see two lights coming through the little crosshatch of the door, the little windows outside, and I'm wondering, what is this? Is the rescue team coming to help me? I look outside, and the entire street is just gone out, and it's my stepdad just there with 2 torches, and smile, are you home?
And you're there, butt naked in the hallway.
I am, because obviously coming down the stairs, I've lost my shower. I've lost my towel, and then he was outside with the thing just shouting me with 2 torches. I thought he was the devil. I thought he was a bunch of aliens coming to get me.
Anyone who calls you Smiler is going to be pretty terrifying.
Do you mean? That's what I'm
Smiler
called
is
almost
a
every
scary
single.
name.
I was called Baldy at one point, and I can't remember what else. I was Smiler, I was Baldy, and something else.
Okay, so
Yeah, that was my story about getting locked in the shower.
we had this teacher called, I had this teacher, French teacher, called Miss Lopez Beverly. She was Spanish, and she taught French.
Okay.
She was a relatively strict teacher. I was quite good student, because we were in bottom set, and in bottom set you get all the people who aren't that good at the subject, and I was.
And you got all the people who mess around.
Yeah, and I wasn't that bad at the subject, but I was bad enough to not be in the second cell, first set, which I was grateful.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, and being the idiot at times that I am, I sit next to Lizard, old faithful Jack Hammond.
Yeah.
And Ethan. And
Ethan, he's drunk.
I'm on the corner, of the table, and I look at Ethan, I stare at him for a couple of seconds, and he gives me a weird face. And I look at Lizard for a couple of seconds, and I look in the middle, and I say, first one to fall off their chair wins. I put my hands on the side of the chair, start rocking back and forth. I flip sideways, push a table over by accident, right? And Miss, being the thoughtful teacher I am, instead of, running to my aid that I was in a great deal of pain because I'd landed on my pencil, oh no, she just walked to the board, wrote yellows underneath our lines.
Yeah, a little bit of backstory. A yellow in art. Well, no, it's a bit further back now. A yellow was like a half an hour detention in school, but now it's lunchtime because they thought it'd be posh.
Yeah. 2 days ago, I was in science, and Jamie Dillard, he was the one that did the professionalism. He was the big player.
All right.
He was like walking around, and Corley and Lizard were hitting each other with rulers, and Jamie got scared.
And Jamie gets scared a lot.
Yeah, and I looked behind me, and Jamie was sort of laughing with a group of other people, and I didn't know what they were laughing at. And I turned back around to do my work. All of a sudden, my chair disappears from underneath me, and I'm falling on the floor.
Are you by any chance falling on a pencil?
No.
Are you falling on a rock?
No.
What did you fall on?
Well, someone, I don't know who, it might have been Mr. Kearns, had their laptop plugged into charge.
Oh, okay.
And he'd obviously gone and unplugged it, and as he'd unplugged it, he dropped the cable and forgot about it. And as I fell, I landed on my elbows, and I've got 2 nasty bruises on them. And I sat up, and Miss was yelling at me, and I was like, oh, I don't like being shouted at. And then I noticed the searing pain in my left ankle, and looked down, and there was a plug sticking into it, not penetrating the skin, just sitting there.
Oh.
I screamed, and I said to Miss, I need a first aid kit, call the medical people, call paramedics, and she gave me a verbal warning.
Yeah, verbal warning is like a...
It's a warning.
Yeah, it's a warning now. I think that's to wrap up. Yeah, that was our little story time thing.
And if it gets lower views, then we will carry on doing it.
But when we do start this, 2 views, because I'll view it and then I'll view it with my other account to make us look funny.
Yeah, because Kai does that because he's a loner.
Another thing, Alan, before we go, this little weird heart monitor thing that's in front of me?
Oh yeah.
Where's all the paper going?
It's in a recycle bin.
I'm pretty sure after the 30 minutes of recording this, it would have just gone somewhere.
No.
Or it would have overflowed the bin. No. Unless this is half a gigamillimeter in thinness.
Oh, it is. So yeah, that was Teatime Gaming with your very Kai and Alan.
Yeah.
Check out our Feed the Beast series that we've been doing, and
stop promoting us. You're making us look really desperate.
Don't look at the Feed the Beast series. It's complete shit. Big bollocks.
I didn't mean don't tell them. I just meant tone it down a bit.
Look at the Feed the Beast series. It's quite fun. Interesting. You'll learn a lot from Ethan. No one else. And that's all. See you later.
I need to do a little dance with me.